Okay.
Stability. And then I have the survivability.
Okay, so first things first. Do you see my stream? You got my stream?
I could probably pull it up.
If you can pull it up, I'm literally just going to build the most basic of rockets and just launch it. Set an alarm for 1400.
It says you're live on. Oh,
I turned on your 14.
I don't know why there's cars on it, but.
Yeah, that's just my screensaver, background saver, whatever. Okay, so you probably have the thermostat, maybe the Science Junior, probably not.
The what?
You don't have the Science Junior, do you?
I don't.
The little tube I have here, this one. You have this?
I'm still waiting for it to catch up with the stream.
Sorry, the white box underneath the gray box. Do you have the the white cylinder?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I can get it. I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
Maybe.
You can gather science pretty easily with that thing. I don't know what all you have as far as science goes, so I'm just gonna kind of build a really basic rocket. I'm pretty sure that this is about what I start out with every time I start.
I have the thermometer, the pressure gauge, the goop canister.
You don't have the Science Junior. Okay. So what I would do, I'm actually just going to remove that altogether. I would do your little pod, right?
Yeah.
Do a 3 split. And then put yourself, goo content. What the heck? There we go. Okay. Put your thermometers, put your pressure gauges, put your goo containers on your vehicle, right? Put 3 of each, and then gather science at where you land, gather science in the different stages of the atmosphere, gather science if you make it into orbit. And then, I know that these goo canisters are going to get destroyed if they hit the ground, so I'm going to move them up just a little bit. You need your...
Guessing a heat shield.
I do not use heat shields at all.
No. Oh, okay.
I never use them. Sorry, I just throw on the I'm just throwing the parachutes on there just to kind of, yeah. Anyway, so this pod weighs 1.4 tons. If you look at the bottom right hand corner of your screen, you got the little Delta V map thing. I'm not sure what type of fuel tanks you have. I'm assuming that you have these ones.
I have the T100 fuel tank and the T200 fuel tank right now. Or you meaning
Okay, so T400 is what I'm using. So just 2 of your T200s would do the same thing. You're probably gonna hit part limit really fast, whereas I won't. Where is the swivel? Pretty sure the swivel is what you have, right? You have a swivel.
I have the swivel and the reliant.
Okay, so the swivel actually has some sort of has a what's it called?
Aiming system.
It has gimbal, which allows you to actually gimbal the rocket in multiple directions. So we're at 1200 with how much Delta V? 338. So as long as you keep your delta V above 1 point, or your thrust to weight right here, you'll see it's TWR above 1.10. You will be able to lift off the launch pad.
As long as it's above 1.10?
As long as it's above 1.10.
Okay, well, right now I'm at 3.59, but I also don't have all of what you have yet.
Yeah, so add fuel tanks until you get down to the ones.
I do have decouplers and side decouplers.
Why is this not showing any fuel? That's weird. Fuel delivery. Okay.
I don't know if that's right now, but I'll figure it out.
Well, that's weird. My game's glitching out. But, so this should be more than enough to get you to space. Honestly. So. Now. Get to orbit. Should be more than enough to get you to orbit. Let's see. I'm getting text messages. Alright. So now that I have this all set up, there we go. See, now it's showing 3,000 delta V. This should be more than enough for me to get to orbit. I don't know about getting back from orbit, but because I'm at a thrust to weight ratio of 2.34, I'm actually going to leave it at half throttle because it'll put me at about 1.15. And I'm just going to sit at that thrust. Because it's the most fuel efficient thrust to weight ratio is 1.1 to 1.2. So as you can see, I am already burning a lot of fuel. Holy crap. Actually, I don't know if this will make it to orbit. Looking at it. I need a little bit more power. Holy crap. But as you can see, I'm just slowly tilting. If you look at the nav ball, you can see it. There we go. About to come through the hardest part of the atmosphere. That's the reason why it's taking. That's why it's hating me right now. Yeah, I probably won't make it to orbit off this one. Not even gonna lie.
Well, I've kind of been building off of what you've been doing.
You just have to add.
Right now,
You just have to add another set of fuel tanks at the bottom. That's all you'd really have to do.
Yeah, right now I have 3,578 meters per second.
Should be pretty close.
I just have to get my staging right now.
Oh, actually, I might make it to orbit. So yeah, I was saying at 2,500, you want to be at about 50. About to have to go into my second stage. Yeah, I'm just going to come straight suborbital. I don't think I'm going to be able to make orbital off this. There's just not enough delta V. Shoot. These smaller rockets are actually really hard to get to go to orbit.
I was gonna say, right now my rocket's kind of big, so...
So the problem is that I have to hit 2,300 meters a second of delta V. To actually sustain orbit, and it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to hit that. It's going to be pretty dang close, though, to be honest. I think if I'd have had another fuel tank on the top, I'd have made it. Yeah, look at that. Suborbital. Or nope, barely not suborbital.
Oh.
So here's what we're gonna do, because I've got a little bit of time left. Let me just switch it up just a little bit more. So first thing, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this and bring it down. Add one more fuel tank in there. That brings me up almost to 2,000 delta V just off that. That's crazy. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab the whole rocket.
And you said 1.0?
1.10.
Okay, well I have 1.16. So.
That's good. Like I said, I'm going to actually just attach another set of fuel tanks. Oh, shoot. Yeah, crap. I'm just going to expand fuel barrels, to be honest. That's all I'm doing.
1.15. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured you'd say that.
Too many parts?
Spacecraft. Yeah.
Alright. So, now...
Well, I have plenty of stuff to get it to level up.
Now I could definitely make it to orbit. But you saw how the principles that I applied to get to orbit, that's... I'm just going to follow that. That's how you get to orbit.
And then, I know this is far out of my reach still, but, like, is there a way to get a destination to the mun, or...
There is a way to get to the Mun. I just did a stream on this, actually. Literally went to the Mun and came back in one try.
I would like to go to the Mun.
Yeah. It's really pretty on the series. They updated the artwork for the series. It's really beautiful.
What do I have to upgrade to get to have more parts?
You just have to get more science. Honestly, I literally take a car and just drive around the top side of the Kerbal Space Center. Or an airplane. I build an airplane and do it.
I was meeting right now. I have 37 out of 30 parts.
Oh, you have to, one, you have to upgrade the actual, like, landing, I think it's the landing pad, you have to, like, or the launch pad, you have to upgrade. It's between that and the hangar.
And then,
Not the hangar, the actual VAB. Yeah, I definitely wasn't paying attention to my fuel there. Got a little bit away from me.
I almost have enough. Just a little bit short.
Right. So, if you look, the top tank, literally, I have enough to get to orbit in the top tank alone now that I've launched with the top two. So, literally, you just need the bottom to get you up there so that the second stage can get you into orbit. Like, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. That's how it looks. So, like, this right here says however many meters a second. I still have that much delta V, but once I get up to the atmosphere, if I can get up to that speed-ish in orbit, it'll put me in orbit. Might actually have enough with this rocket now to get out of orbit, too. To deorbit. Which is kind of cool. Alright, here we go. First stage is getting dumped.
Do I need decouplers? Like, or can I just use the strut like you did in that second episode?
You have to use decouplers in order to remove the parts.
Strut.
So I use struts
Well, I
to
was
hold
meaning
it
the
together.
side decoupler.
Oh, side decouplers is to drop off those tubes in general. So, like, I don't particularly use them. I mean, I use them, but, like, it depends on what I'm building. So here's how you get to orbit, by the way. I'm accomplishing it literally right now.
So you just have to kind of turn on your thrusters as you get up into space.
You have to keep turning it down so that your thrust to weight ratio stays between 1.1 and 1.2 the whole way. And you have to have around 3,500 to 4,000 delta V. My top stage had enough delta V, which is this number right here, for me to do orbit by itself. It had 2,300 meters a second of delta V. 2,300 meters a second is how many meters a second you have to be going in order to make it around to orbit. So, like, I'm still gonna barely make it into orbit, but I will be in orbit, and that's what you asked for. So
just needed to know how to get into orbit. I can figure out how to land.
So if you look at the circle, you can just kind of see how the circle goes. Once I get to the apoapsis, which needs to be above 70K, which is why I'm flying the way that I am. Once it gets to the apoapsis, then I will burn the rest of the way into orbit. Once it makes it to 70K, basically. So now it's about 70K. I'll let it hit about 72 because I'm going to still drop a little bit in the atmosphere as far as speed goes. Keep moving. And then there you go. I'm in orbit. So now all I have to do is wait till I hit that point right there. The apoapsis. And just hit the rest, burn the rest at full on prograde, which is the yellow circle. So like right here. At 21, I'll probably start burning, to be honest. It's going to keep pushing it away from me. And I just let it go a little bit closer. And it's just going to keep pushing the apoapsis away from me as long as I'm on this side. I'm already at a low I'm not at low Kerbal orbit, but I am at suborbital to the point where I can re-enter pretty easily. See, right there's the periapsis. I'm almost to orbit now.
So once they fully connect, you're in orbit?
Once both of these numbers are above 70,000 kilometers, I am in orbit. See, right now I am in orbit. Watch, even whenever I collect this stuff, it'll say I'm in orbit. While in space near Kerbal orbit. Anyway. So yeah, there's that. And then to deorbit, all you have to do is flip the other direction, which is retrograde. It's the opposite looking circle with the lines through it. The yellow circle with the lines going through it.
Yeah.
Right? And then just burn until... Oh, shit. I'm just doing it because I have the assist as it is. But, once you hit that, all you have to do is go until it reaches about 55K on the periapsis side, which I pulled out the menu down here at the bottom. And it shows me where it's at, like how far away I am. So, there. Now all I gotta do is fall to Earth. If you look at the circle, you can see that this is at 50. 55 and below, which is to re-enter. That's the re-entry speed, or that's re-entry. Like that's the not having to use the heat shield entry, like ish kind of area. The using the heat shield one is at 35, which is probably the reason why your rocket either keeps blowing up or whatnot, is because you're going straight up and then coming straight back down and hitting the Earth going really fast. Instead of letting the atmosphere burn away your speed.
That my rocket keeps blowing up. It's just I couldn't get it to go sideways and keep going.
You have to use the gimbal. That's the reason why I suggest the swivels. But yeah, made it.
Well, I have that now. Well, I had it before too. It's just it wouldn't like
turn.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use my actual tools because I do like them. So you always want to enter the atmosphere retrograde. And that's because when you enter it prograde, especially if you have that cabin that's like a point. It's kind of like an arrow, and it never slows down because the aerodynamics of the aircraft never catch anything to slow down. That, and if you enter retrograde, you'll be able to boost your rocket to slow down once you reach a certain point. Ooh. Stretch is good. But yeah, this is it. Right here. Just like that. Once you hit about 6,000 to 5,500, your rocket will start growing red. Glowing red. Not growing red, glowing red.
I know. I'm downloading the cross-out game right now, so...
It's a pretty fun game. It's enjoyable. I like it. I'm just trying to get my craft to land at this point. That way I can get off. It does take forever at the 4 times, which is really annoying. I wish that they'd give you 10 times or even 20 times in orbit. It's obnoxious watching after.
I was gonna say, I have 1,000 times. What do you mean?
After the first 10 times of watching it slowly fall in atmosphere down to the ground, it's obnoxious.
Yeah.
Here we go, though.
Okay, now
Re-entering.
launch. Because I know I don't have more than 30 parts.
Re-entering Kerbin's atmosphere now.
You're glowing red.
I might actually make it all the way around again. I don't know. No. Nah, I'm gonna make it to like right about here on the planet. Probably like right about here on the planet. I think just barely on the sunrise side. Like right there. Just barely. Look at that.
I made a snake.
Oh, is it so tall that it's wobbling?
Well, it took off and it just...
Yeah, it happens.
I don't think...
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
I'm overheating.
Don't do that.
It's fine. It's the engine. Engines don't overheat to the point of explosion very often. It takes a little bit to get them there. I can always activate it if it gets too hot. Trying to keep my mystery goo from exploding. Slowly coming in. I think I will hit that land though. Oh yeah. I'm gonna hit that land. Bye, rocket. Kaboom. There you go. Made it all the way to orbit. And all the way back. That's how you do it. Same principle always applies, though. I would use stuff with gimbal until you can get reaction wheels. And once you get to the point where you're ready to dock crafts together and you need some help with that, just hit me up. I will gladly help you. Because the RCS is a tricky thing to run.
But yeah, if you're ever down to play, I'm always down to play something.
Yeah, RCS is annoying, though, just so you know. It's super obnoxious. Trying to use it to dock. Docking in this game is extremely obnoxious. But yeah, I'd be down to play some games, depending on what it is. COD? No, thank you.
I mean, I like to play GTA. I like to torture myself with the wall ride maps.
I actually have not touched those in GTA. They look absolutely terrible. There you go, though. I am.
Some of them aren't horrible.
I am back.
But
back on Kerbin.
For the most part, yeah.
Alright, guys. Thank you for watching the stream. If you guys like the video, please leave a like if you're new around here and you want to see this content, or more of this content. Subscribe if you'd like to know when it comes out. Hit that bell and leave a comment if you want to talk to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.